Last summer, I was pushing 185 pounds. I could not walk. I was about a year and a half post a hysterectomy, and it wasn't just a hysterectomy because I had so many prior abdominal surgeries, including 2 C-sections. My entire was just full of scar tissue that was so bad I had to go to a cancer specialist because they had a 6-armed robot and they cut 6, across the top of my stomach and one on my belly button. Every surgery I've ever had on my stomach, they always got the fucking belly button. I get it, but God, I'm so sick of being cut on, y'all. And the doctors just... Anyway. So my hysterectomy took like 2 hours. They had to work their way down, cut out all the webbed scar tissue and everything. And before I had that surgery, which I had begged for like a good 10 years to have, but because I was still in childbearing age, even though my tubes were tied, doctors thought I might change my mind, even though the reason I got my tubes tied was, 1, I was done having kids. I already had my 2 little angels. It was good. But 2, my doctor told me, he's like, yeah, pregnancy does not get along with you. It would be very, very, very dangerous, after the problems with the first 2. So, there was no reason. I was just getting worse and worse and worse. But then by the time I got to this, had to be referred to this specialist. First of all, he's like, why are you even here? You don't have cancer. And I'm like, you know why I'm here. You have my file. You've read it. Your nurse read it. Your nurse practitioner read it. They've referred, you see people who don't have cancer because you have the machine for the, surgery that is now needed because they wouldn't do the proper shit years ago. It's just crazy. And so before my surgery, I couldn't stand up straight and I couldn't bend all the way over. Not just, from being overweight, but because of all that going on. And then so for a good year and a half after I had that surgery, my stomach was still, I still couldn't stand up straight. I couldn't breathe right. And, it just... I want to keep sharing my story. Part of it is for my, my own documentation purposes. Trying to, figure things out, connect the dots. But also, I want to spread awareness that... just because someone is a doctor or a medical professional, and I've been a medical professional, I worked in healthcare for, quite a while, doing many different things. I started off as a phlebotomist, then I went into medical assisting, ran front office, medical records. So I've seen a lot. I wasn't a doctor or a nurse, but I saw more than enough from the medical side, the healthcare side, the workers side of how they treat patients and what actually goes on behind the scenes, and it's fucking disgusting. And that's one reason why I got so burnt out and I could never work in healthcare again. No matter how much I love to be able to take care of people, that's all I ever wanted to do was to help people. It's in my nature. But the current medical system, the way it is, it's not set up for people who actually care. It's not set up for people who actually want to heal others. It's set up purely for profit, and there is no profit in a healthy population. Stay shiny, y'all.